Okay, so here we go with the top 10 countdown of top tips for your DofE expedition. And number 10 is pack your own rucksack. Okay, it's no good if someone else packs your rucksack for you when you're going on expedition, because you won't know where anything is and you also won't really know what's in there. Okay, so packing your own rucksack is a really good thing to do. Pack it, unpack it, pack it at home. If you can't get it all in, you're probably bringing too much. Think about what you really do need and what you don't need, but packing it yourself is huge. Okay, if a parent or carer packs it for you and you get an expedition and it's raining and the weather's bad, you haven't got a clue where anything is. Okay, so practice packing it, practice putting it on, and that will allow a much more comfortable and enjoyable expedition. Okay, see you tomorrow for tip number 9. Number 9 is work on your team goal. Okay, you should know about your team goal by now. Team goal is something you have to work on while you're out on your expedition. A lot of participants on their DofE leave it till last minute or get set one by one of the supervisors, and it makes for a much more enjoyable expedition and fun if you pick a good team goal that suits your team and you work on it really well. Okay, it's really good for your assessors to see. They like to see it, but it just actually is a really good added thing to your expedition. Whatever you're doing, say it's walking for example, it shouldn't just be about walking from point to point. Okay, you want to have an enjoyable experience, and setting a good team goal can really make it a good experience. Okay, number 8 in your top 10 tips for your DofE expedition: plan a good menu. Okay, have a look at some options of things you can cook. Okay, and try them out. Cook as a team is really beneficial. It's a really nice experience, especially after a day or so of being out. But plan your menus and practice cooking them. Okay, make sure if they need any tweaks, they need anything added or taken away even, but it's really sort of good for morale and stuff if you get to camp and cook a good meal. Also, your assessors will like to see you cooking a good meal, which is always a good plus. And also, don't forget seasoning. Okay, salt and pepper. You can get little sachets of salt and pepper, bring them along. A lot of people often forget seasoning. Okay, so yeah, so plan a meal well in advance. Okay, practice it, and pack it nice and lightly as well. Yeah, don't bring anything too heavy. Okay, top tip number 7 for your DofE expeditions. Okay, and number 7 is get some sleep. Okay, we see it so much on our expeditions, whether it be bronze, silver, or even golds, that you need some sleep in the night time. Okay, you're doing physical activity all day, and I know it's very good when you're out with your mates and you're sleeping in tents and you're all in teams, but as soon as you get tired, that's when people start to make mistakes, things go wrong, you end up traveling further. Okay, and it just sort of makes morale drop, and you feel a lot less happy about your expedition in general. Okay, so as much as it's all fun, make sure you get plenty of sleep. Okay, number 6 in our top 10 tips for your DofE expedition, and this one is bring proper water bottles along. Okay, nice strong water bottles. Okay, a lot of people tend to bring along, especially at bronze, the disposable water bottles, like spring water bottles. They're really not practical enough for an expedition. They crumple up easy, they spring leaks, and you end up sort of with leaks all in your rucksack, and you end up with no water, which is not a good thing. So a couple of 1 litre bottles is really good, either like metal ones or the hard reusable plastic ones, really good. So get a couple of those for your expedition. If you're using hydration packs like the bladders, what go in there, they are good, but they're only for water and they can spring leaks as well, so it's up to you whether you want to use those as well. Another top little tip as well, if you're bringing water bottles, put one of your water bottles in one of your teammates' rucksack and let them put their water bottle in your rucksack, and it's a lot easier, a lot more accessible when you're out and about to get to your water bottle, rather than having to sort of try and reach around into the back of your rucksack. So that's a good little tip. Also, don't bring along the great big 2 litre sort of big large ones that you have nowadays, because they won't fit in any of the pockets on your rucksack and you'll have to carry them all the time. Okay, so 2 1 litre bottles ideal. Okay, number 5 on your top 10 tips for your DofE expedition: stay hydrated. okay. So many people don't drink enough water on expeditions, okay, and the brain thrives on being hydrated, okay. It makes bad decisions when it's dehydrated. You can also get headaches and stuff, and also it's really good for replenishing and making your muscles recover for the following day. So really stay hydrated on your expedition. This one especially goes to a lot of girls as well. They tend not to drink a lot because they don't want to do a wild wee out if there's not toilets available. But really just try and get over that, and just keep yourself hydrated, okay. I'm sure the rest of your teammates will look after you, but you know, you need to get used to having a wild wee sometimes on expedition, okay. So stay hydrated on your expedition. DofE top tip number 4, teamwork, okay. Make sure when you're out on your expedition and when you're at camp, and even in the pre-planning and everything like that, you're working together as a team, okay. It's one of the important things the assessors want to see for a start, so that's a big tick in the box. But it's also makes your expedition a much more enjoyable and fulfilling experience, okay. So if you're out walking or whatever you're doing as transport means, stick together as a team. It's very easy to get separated when you're all chatting, but make sure you keep together as a team, so you're all keeping an eye out and looking after each other. And also keep an eye on teammates. You know, some might be struggling, some might be flying ahead. You know, it's all about looking after each other and having some empathy for the other members of your team. And also decisions on your navigation and when you're going to eat and breaks and stuff like that is all really big, so when you're part of a team, okay. So yeah, so number 4 is teamwork. Okay, top tip number 3 in your DofE expedition top tips, and that is get a good rucksack, okay. And there's lots of cheap available rucksacks online and stuff like that nowadays. A lot of them, many of them are not suitable for DofE expeditions, okay. They're going to be uncomfortable, they're going to be unsuitable, they're going to be really just not practical at all for you to go on and enjoy your expedition, okay. So you need to get a good rucksack, around about 65 to 70 litres, okay, which will be good. Make sure it's got plenty of well padded and adjustable straps, okay. You need a back adjustment system on it. You'll need to make sure it fits you around the waist, because that's going to take most of the weight, and also it has a chest strap along it, which will help spread the weight around. So make sure you get a good well-fitting rucksack. There is a video on our YouTube channel which shows which breaks down a bit more about rucksacks and what good ones and what bad ones. But yeah, so top tip number 3, make sure you get a good well-fitting rucksack. Tip number 2 of your DofE expedition top tips, number 2 is bring proper waterproofs, okay. That means a waterproof jacket and waterproof over trousers, okay. When we say waterproof jacket, we don't mean like a showerproof big bulky thing you might wear for school. We mean proper waterproof jacket, okay. Something lightweight that's packable, that you can get to easily and put on, okay. Even if the weather forecast is clear, especially if you're in the UK is not always clear, okay. Rain comes from all over the place, so you've got to make sure you've got your waterproofs, okay. Most people wouldn't let you go on your expedition even without waterproofs, okay. So you've got to make sure you've got your waterproofs. So make sure you've got decent waterproof jacket and some waterproof over trousers. Okay, DofE expedition top tips number 1. We're at number 1, okay. And number 1, for a very good reason, is walking boots, okay. Want to make sure you got yourself a good pair of well-fitting decent walking boots, okay. You don't want to turn up in trainers, okay. Walking shoes, obviously they're designed for walking, but they're not very good for being out 2 days, especially if it's wet. Walking boots, walking shoes, you're going to have really wet feet, okay. So walking boots have 2 really good sides to them. They will help keep your feet dry. You can walk through more sort of puddles and mud and stuff and keep dry, but also they give you support around the ankle. You're going to be carrying a lot of weight on more weight on your back, okay. So there's a lot of pressure going through your ankle, okay. So they stop a lot of things like rolled ankles and injuries and stuff. So walking boots really important. They're not overly expensive nowadays. Remember, you get discount with DofE cards and stuff in a lot of the major retailers. but make sure you go out, get a pair fitted, okay, and before you go out on your expedition, make sure you wear them a lot, break them in. We call it breaking in, okay. If you don't break them in and you go straight on expedition, you're going to suffer with a lot of bad blisters, okay. We see it quite a lot when people haven't broken their walking boots in, and blisters are a horrible thing, as we probably all know. So make sure you get yourself as good a pair of walking boots as you can, okay, and make sure you break them in. All right, good luck on your expeditions, guys.